Knockout Legends in the building. Like, comment, subscribe. So I just finished watching the Deontay Wilder versus Joseph Parker fight. Now, my first thoughts watching this fight were what my predictions were that Parker would basically outmaneuver and outclass Wilder. Now, the first round, what I saw, Parker held the middle of the ring and he was feinting and keeping Deontay on the back foot. And every time Deontay tried to come in to try and set himself with the jab to throw the right hand, he had to keep resetting. Now, Andy Lee had got the tactics spot on, and the same way Tyson Fury had fought Deontay Wilder in the past, Joseph Parker mimicked that to a T with his own style. And then when he got close, he'd throw the overhand right, and then he'd bury his head into his body. So Wilder couldn't get any leverage to get space to throw any shots, to get power on them, because obviously he's long and lanky, he can't really fight on the inside. That's what lets Wilder down, because he hasn't got no inside game because of his gangly, like Thomas Hearn kind of frame. Even though he's a heavyweight, it doesn't suit him to be tied up, because obviously in the Fury fights, when he got tied up, you could see he struggled. He couldn't really deal with Fury on the inside, and that's one thing that Fury actually loves to practice. Body sparring and roughing people up on the inside and using his overall weight and size, so you can just kind of bully someone into submission. Anyway, the story of the whole fight was Wilder on the back foot. Now, what I watched second round with Wilder, third round, still pretty impressive, because he kept trying to manoeuvre, throwing the jab to the body, and waiting for a moment to set himself. Now, coming into the fifth, sixth round, you've seen that he may have had like a few opportunities to throw the right, but they weren't fully flush, and they couldn't hit Joseph bang on, like how he likes to get his torque and his range. So if the target's a little bit stationary and a little bit slower or a little bit tired, that's why he seems to have a success, I think, in the later rounds when he throws that shot. And sometimes he may have played possum in the past when he throwed it, but obviously I think it's a pride thing. But with Joseph was switched on, and under Andy Lee, I have to take my hat off to Andy Lee. He's revived. He's an actual better boxer now. I wish I could have saw more of this from Joseph when he fought Dillian Whyte, and obviously when he fought Joshua, but he wasn't under Andy Lee then, so that's why. But like the fight, what kind of defined Parker to show how actually good he is in his last run up with Andy Lee was the Joe Joyce fight. He threw everything he could at Joe Joyce, everything in the kitchen sink, and we saw that here in this fight with Wilder, because there was a point, I think it was the eighth round, where he hurt Wilder and he went in for the kill. Now Wilder, he's crafty, he's smart, actually flipping, tying up and holding and riding out shots, and that's what he did. He weathered the storm, and hats off to Wilder, considering he's been out of the ring for a long time and he's only had the one fight and he knocked out Helenius. He still was moving around the ring, he was still throwing his jab, he was still trying to look for the big right hand. He had success with hooks, and I think he got a bit of an uppercut in, but like he could never actually get the full shot in flush, because Parker just took up the ring, cut him off, feinted when he could, ducked under and throw the overhand right, and then just duck himself in his chest, and then held his body and then went to the body. So he nullified everything Wilder could do. I think what Wilder's made the mistake of doing is being inactive. He should have fought sooner. After the Helenius fight, he should have had at least another 2 fights. Being active and being more, how can I put it, fluid with the style that he's got with Malik now, it may have stood him instead. He might have actually been able to use other shots to actually get to Parker and actually hurt him or set him up with the big right hand, because I think Parker may have got maybe one or two of the big right hand shots in the fight, but they weren't flush, so he rid them. And to be honest, with Parker, the way he was fighting, it would be actually interesting if, with this fight being the way it is, and it went on to what it went on to, and obviously it went on to Parker winning a 12-round decision unanimously, that he actually does at some point get to fight Fury, even though the stablemates, which would be bizarre, because obviously everyone keeps cursing Parker for being his pal and berating him. But I think sometimes when you have certain people that you spar with, it makes you better. And I think for Fury and for him, it's made him better fighting a taller opponent, fighting somebody that's awkward and that's got power, and someone that can actually time you and use the jab and use the distance to actually wind you up, to throw the shot, to knock you out. So being that he's been sparring with Tyson and he's learned a lot of things off Tyson and he's under Andy Lee, I think it's done Parker well, because he actually looks a lot better than he did under Kevin Barry. So in general, Parker did what I thought he would do with my prediction, so I think I got the prediction right. He was the better overall boxer. He dominated the centre of the ring. He got his tactics spot on. He didn't actually go and look for Wilder. He just held his ground and inched slowly, and then when he had his chance to let off the shots that he needed to let off, and then protected himself when he needed to protect himself, and let Wilder just stay on the back foot and try and get his distance to try and get the big right hand off, but we had no success. So his game plan was spot on, and then when he hurt Wilder, he went hell for leather. Credit to Wilder, he survived, but Wilder's own enemy was himself, in the fact that he'd not been active, and maybe the fights that he's had with Fury and the time that's getting on with him being 38 has actually been detrimental to him. So anyway, I think his pride may have got hurt when he got beat by Fury. So with that being said, what are your thoughts? Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Like, comment and subscribe. And that is another one from Knockout Legends. Peace.